Hey guys, today's video is going to be just a little bit different, all right? So normally I'm talking about ways you as the individual going through Ranger School can be successful at the course. Today I want to talk differently. I'm actually going to talk to the loved ones supporting the person going through school. So I have to be honest, I'm coming at this with a little different perspective, right? So I've never been, like my children haven't gone through Ranger School or anything like that. So I'm only coming to this with the perspective of the person sitting at Ranger School, if that makes sense. But I've given this some thought. I had a mom comment on one of my posts and said something about she watched all my videos when her son went, and she really appreciated it. Tell me thanks for, giving her some insight about what her son was going through. And it kind of helped me to realize, like, wow, there's actually something more here. There might be loved ones watching this channel that could use the help in determining how they could help their student going through the course. So I kind of decided to do it. Maybe the video will fall flat, but if there's a way that I can help somebody, I want to do it. So first and foremost, letters, right? That's going to be really your only form of communication with your ranger going through the course. Is going to be letters. They'll get a phone call after every phase, whether they're successful or not. So whether they're going to recycle or not, they're going to get a letter, or they're going to get a phone call. There will be an opportunity. They may not get the call. There's not much time, and everybody wants to use the phones, so it's just kind of hit or miss. But letters are a guarantee. Now, the postal system around all the little camps, they're pretty rough. So sometimes you'll send a letter like the first day of the phase, and the student won't get it till the last day of the phase. And I'll say letters are a lot better than packages. Care packages seem to be delayed even more. Letters are a lot better. But that's going to be your best form of communication. And I'm going to tell you right now, your student wants those letters. Even if it's something like just quick and simple, you jot it down, it's a paragraph, it doesn't seem like much to you. It doesn't have to be a big, glamorous 48-page letter. It means a lot to your ranger because they're separated, they're in the woods, and they're living a life that's like almost unfathomable, honestly. So to get a little bit of like an indicator that there's life outside of those woods, it's pretty nice to be able to read a letter and just know that there is something outside of this, something that you're doing it for. So write letters. That's like the best thing you could probably do. Now, something that my wife did is she sent me laminated pictures. Now, it's not uncommon for people to send pictures, and you should send pictures because it's kind of nice to like open up a letter and there's some photos of like, your family, your loved ones, your dog or your car, whatever, whatever your ranger is into, them better than anybody. They're your loved one. So whatever they're into, send them pictures of that. But something my wife did that I thought was really, really awesome is she laminated the pictures. So even when it was like raining on us, I could still pull my photos out and look at them, and they weren't getting just absolutely destroyed. I kept like 4 or 5 of them, a couple pictures of my wife and a couple pictures of the kid that she sent us that were laminated. I kept them in like my notebook, so when I was writing notes for anything or whatever, they were right there. I looked at them quite a bit because, like you said, it's, at least for me, I like to see pictures of my family help me to know, like, this is why you're here. This is why you're doing this, to make yourself a better person eventually for your family. So that was really nice. Now, gum. I've probably mentioned it in just about every other video, but gum is like, it becomes like a form of currency in Ranger School. As hard as that is to believe, Like gum is everything. Gum is life. Um, so send gum, lots of it. Like more gum than you think you need to send, because your rangers are sitting in school, they're sitting in those woods and they're hungry and they're tired, and they're trying to stay awake. Just they're chewing gum and swallowing it. Chewing gum, swallowing it. Like they'll rip through a pack of gum like it's nothing. Um and it seems like, families and loved ones right away, at least until they talk to their ranger, they're sending like minty gum, which, I'm not a like Bubblicious, or I'm not a fruity gum fan. I like mint gum, and that's what I thought I would want. So when I went through school, that's like what I brought with me with the packing list, is like mint gum, because I hate fruit gum. When you're in that state of depletion, you don't want mint gum. You want fruity gum. So like the fruitier the better. So there's like some extra mint chocolate chip. That was a big hit. Bubblicious is a big hit, even though it doesn't last very long. Big League Chew was pretty huge. Guys really, really enjoyed the Big League Chew. Yeah, if it was like fruity, so juicy fruit, I think there's like a Starburst juicy fruit. Fruity gum is what people want. That's the hit. Or like cinnamon. Cinnamon helps a lot because when you're trying to stay awake, it's got a lot of power. So yeah, send gum, lots of it. Your ranger will appreciate you. Now, here's another one this is something my wife did, that I didn't realize until I got home. But like there's all these issues going on back at home, and she kept it all to herself. So every time I talked to her on the phone, every letter I got, everything's going great. Life is great. I realize now, like, I came home and talked to her, and she only kept the issues to herself because she didn't want to worry me and keep me there longer. She wanted me home. But like, for example, my daughter, who was 4, got shingles when I was gone. And my wife, bless her soul, said that was one of the worst experiences she's had as a parent, which I can only imagine. A 4-year-old getting shingles is probably not an enjoyable experience. Somehow, some way. Anyhow, my wife didn't mention that at all when I was gone. Just like kept it to herself. My grandma died when I was at Ranger School. Again, just it's like it didn't exist to me. My wife kept all that crap to herself. Shouldered a lot of that burden. So, I'm super appreciative of that. She's an absolute trooper. But she kept those issues to herself, so that when I was there, I wasn't sitting there worrying about, oh man, I got to get it going this next graded patrol. But Christ, Claire's got shingles. God, I imagine that's awful for my wife. So, that was one thing that, I didn't realize she was doing till I got home and she told me about all these stuff, that I'm like super thankful for. It's nice to go there and not really have to think of anything else. You're just worried about what you've got to do to be successful in that course. So along with that, doesn't mean you have to keep all news from your ranger, just the bad news. And you don't have to do that if you don't want. I know that's like different dynamics do different things, but I can tell you I appreciated it. So but you can and should tell your ranger like the good things that are going on. So, if your little brother or sister won the state football championship, or, something big that's good, that like makes your ranger excited, and like, again, lets them know there's more going on outside of these sticks and bush and trees and hills, right? It kind of gives them, like, I guess, a little life, a little something to live for. So tell them the good things. It'll help bring them up, help give them something to think about when they're trying to stay awake, sitting in security in the patrol base. So just general love and support is like the best thing you can do, specifically before they go. Honestly, that's like, if you're doing it right, there's a lot of prep work that goes into going to Ranger School. There's a lot of like physical training, guys are getting packing lists together and stuff like that. Like it's a big undertaking. So as long as you can support your ranger before they go, and while they're there, that's like the best thing you can do. Just general, like, hey, I'm behind you on this. We're in this together. I can't wait to put that colored tab on your shoulder, right? As long as you can go into it with that mindset. It's going to be hard, right? It's going to be really hard because you're going to spend, at a minimum, 62 days zero contact with your ranger, and then upwards of 6 months, depending on how many recycles they hit and where the recycles fall in and the class cycles and stuff like that. So like it could be a really, really long time without your ranger student. So showing them support lets them know that you're behind them in their decision to go to this course. Now, it would be remiss of me if I didn't mention a couple of things. So there are some Facebook groups. There's one called Ranger School Support Group. It's on Facebook. I know like my wife was in it. Really good deal. That they kind of, in the group, they like mention, hey, these are some like tips and tricks for your ranger. They talk about like the care packages, what can or can't go in the care packages. There's a lot of information, and people posting questions, or people just like posting general support and stuff like that. So it's actually a pretty good group. The other one that you need to know is it's RC, as in Romeo Charlie, and then it'll be like a class number - year, whatever. So it's like the class that your ranger student is in. So for example, I was 1120. So it'll be RC 1120, Ranger School class group. And then in that, it's like more specific. So it's a group that you have to join. You have to request to join, and you just tell them like, my soldier is in this class. But in that group, then they've got like the family readiness support group, I guess call them, for the unit, and they'll post pictures of all the ranger students when they get an opportunity, and they'll talk about like, hey, phone calls should be coming in tonight, let us know when you get them. There's like prayer groups and stuff like that. They do quite a bit of like good stuff for the loved ones of those going through the course. So I would recommend checking out that. And then if you are someone going through the course and you're just listening into this and you're going to fill it in for your loved one, I would recommend you join the Facebook group. It's Ranger School, like tips, tricks, and gear, or something to that effect. That's like, it's a group more for the people going through the course. And people are asked, there's like RIs in there and stuff like that, and people are asking, are these boots okay, or what should I do here? Or, they're asking about gear and like tips and tricks and stuff like that before they go to school. So that's a pretty good course group, excuse me, for those going through it. So so just kind of like wrap things up here. If you're a family member or a loved one of a soldier going through Ranger School, send them letters, send them pictures, send them gum, give them all of the love you got, and then when they get home, shower them with food for a little bit, because after a while, their metabolism shot. But yeah, that's the best thing you can do, is like just show them the support, that it's a big deal what they're going through. So just give them some support, help them through it. Anyhow, that's all I have for you guys today. If you have anything you'd like to see, leave a comment. Any questions, comments, concerns on this video, let me know. I'll address it as best I can. So till next time, thanks for watching, guys. See ya.